You ever think about the Naruto series? No, I mean really stop for a moment and think about it. Naruto is a real action-y, feely show with about 75% too much filler and about a million too many times where characters just drone the name Sasuke. Like, we get it. He's your crush, and I'm looking at Sakura and Naruto that way. Don't like we didn't see you play train robber with Sasuke's lips. Outside of all the stuff that Naruto is generally known for, there's a lot of stuff that when you stop and think about it seems really messed up. So as a nice change of pace, let's take a look at that stuff for today. Welcome to the Amagi. Before we begin, only 25% of our viewers are subscribed, so if you're a fan of the video, please like and double check if you are subscribed, and with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Naruto is a series about a boy becoming a ninja, and while we tend to think only about the ninja part, we also seem to forget about the part where he's a boy as well. And you know what people always say when they act out? Boys will be boys. And Naruto is no exception. Except he's not the only one who acts out, and some of the things that happen are kinda messed up. Let's take a look at some of these things. Now, I could start with your average stuff about child soldiers, human sacrifice, and complete genocide, but I'm sure that's all a plot point, so you already get that. Let's start with the fact that Naruto very often actually turns into a naked lady. Like, he uses this technique episode 1. Before he can even make a clone, he's over here transforming into an adult woman with apparently all the special features according to the reactions of other characters. Oh, and by the reactions of others, a lot of different characters react to the transformations. This includes Iruka, Ebisu, Hiruzen, who actually passes out from the nosebleed, if Orochimaru doesn't get you, Naruto will, and Jiraiya, who worst of all has Naruto continued developing this technique, going so far as having Naruto transform himself into a woman scantily clad in a devil outfit. And it doesn't end there, because Jiraiya then asks Naruto to wear a thong.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Like, it's not bad enough you're getting nosebleeds from a naked 12-year-old, now you're asking him to wear a thong? Great job, Jiraiya, you just successfully speedran the entire justice system. Is that not enough for you? How about the fact that Naruto teaches this technique to another shinobi? And by another shinobi, I mean basically a 4-year-old. For real, the whole second episode is composed completely of Naruto trying to teach this technique to someone 4 years his junior. And the way he teaches him, by making him ogle women and sneaking into a magazine store to look at a Playboy. Like, holy crap. And this is all before Ebisu finds them. The technique phases Ebisu, but he doesn't give in. Credit to Ebisu for that one. But he totally fails when Naruto utilizes his harem jutsu, which is just sexy jutsu multiplied by shadow clones. Still, it took that much for it to work, so he at least gets willpower points. It doesn't end there though. While studying the Rasengan, Konohamaru envisions the technique at first through the sexy jutsu, and to complete this technique he utilizes the sexy jutsu. The libido is truly a powerful thing, but I guess you could still chalk it up to boys being boys. Speaking of boys and boys, I can't believe I'm reading this. Alright, did you know that Sakura is a fan of yaoi? Apparently, Konohamaru knows about that and developed a technique about it too, though don't look for it in the anime. It was even too much for the anime, and the anime already shows a male armadillo's points of interest on screen. It was so bad that the English version of the manga actually censors the scene entirely. But what makes it worse is that it's not even Konohamaru. Konohamaru is transforming into Sasuke and Sai in front of Sakura from this. And even worse still, Sai is present while it's happening, even commenting on the technique. But please, let's get off of this topic. This is too much. Nope, looks like this topic has more to it. What was Kishimoto on while making this? I don't know, but it'd have to be something that makes him pretty brave to be adding all this stuff in here. So let's start with our two greatest suspects for who is the most perverted mentor in all of Naruto, Jiraiya and Kakashi. Surprised? You shouldn't be. Kakashi is just as much a pervy sensei as Jiraiya. Bro's literally reading an erotic novel while training a bunch of children. Yes, that's a novel written by Jiraiya, the same guy who, as mentioned earlier, wanted Naruto to turn into a woman wearing a thong. But let's also not forget about that signature ninjutsu, 1,000 Years of Death. Kakashi really did that to Naruto while reading that book. I see Sasuke coming around here with kunai and shuriken planning to take Kakashi-sensei to Ohio, and now I understand why. Kakashi's mind is in the gutter. So far, in fact, that he actually recommended Sai to read Jiraiya's novels so he can understand emotion better. Considering the fella didn't seem to mind Konohamaru's technique either, I don't know if it'd matter. Moving on, how about the main character's first kisses? Are we going to ignore how many times in the series Sasuke and Naruto have kissed? Heck, I'm of the mind to believe that Naruto's kissed Sasuke more than Sakura has. Ain't no wonder why Naruto's more interested in bringing Sasuke back to the village, more than even Sakura is. But he might not be the only guy with an interest in Sasuke. Who's that I see in the background there with the girls fawning over him? Is that Shikamaru? Nah, couldn't be. He only loves Temari, right? What's that? Shikamaru can't attack Ada because she has a technique that makes everyone fall in love with her? To be fair to Shikamaru though, it supposedly works on everyone who isn't Otsutsuki, or so they say, except it doesn't work on Sarada and Sumire. They're not Otsutsuki, and they just don't care. Like, the straight energy of these two is so strong, I bet if you said whoever moves first is gay, the two of them would become new statues in the Valley of the End. Then, on the other end of the spectrum is Haku, a boy who moonlights as an elite mercenary when he's not wearing a pink kimono and picking flowers. Bro's even prettier than Sakura, to the point that even after Naruto knows he's a trap, he's like, damn, I could get with that. I could probably tell you why Zabuza and Haku feel inappropriate, or why Rock Lee and Might Guy's first appearances feel inappropriate, especially with Guy obsessing over youth, even Team 7 looking over there and being like, I'm glad our mentor isn't a pervert. Oh wait. But let's move into the character who could probably get this entire series age rating raised just by existing, Orochimaru. Did I mention that this guy spends half the series obsessing over owning the body of a child? Some people wonder how Orochimaru even got this far into Konoha without being detected. I expect he came in a white van with no license plate. After he gets done offering Sasuke some candy, Sasuke passes out due to the hickey Orochimaru put on him. He's not the only person though with a record of craving someone who might be a bit too young for his age range. What about Obito Uchiha? The entire goal of his life and his entire purpose for joining the Akatsuki and continuing Madara's will is to bring Rin back to life, or at least use the infinite Tsukiyomi to create a world where she still lives. But the thing that we have to contend with is that Rin is still 12 years old. Obito is in his 30s. One could say, oh well, he doesn't expect her to still be in her teenage years, except he does. We never see him even think of an adult version of Rin. Even when he dies and goes to heaven, he still sees Rin as a child. Have we also not noticed yet that it's kind of strange that the Otsutsuki, both Momoshiki and Ishiki, are trying to take over the bodies of children? Like, to a point, I can understand Momoshiki. He doesn't really have a choice. Boruto is right there, so he tries for him. We could give old Momo the benefit of the doubt and say, well, he only took Boruto's body because it was closer, and it was kind of a spite against the kid who killed him. But then we look at Ishiki, whose whole thing is kidnapping children. And a side note on this is that he actually bought Kawaki from his deadbeat dad. Ishiki kidnaps and purchases children to perform experiments on, and almost every single one of them except for 2 died. One survived and could develop a karma seal, but he couldn't house Ishiki's soul, while the other one was a perfect vessel. Shin Uchiha, another villain from Boruto, literally cloned himself multiple times to use as minions and as spare parts. He literally performed surgery on himself, killing one of the children for their organs just to survive. Thankfully, Sakura beat some sense into him. They even took those kids to an orphanage run by Kabuto of all people. Kabuto is literally a saint at this point, and he's the one having to take care of the Shin clones. At least all the Uchiha that Itachi killed will be replaced later. Like, if each of those clones has children, we're still gonna have half of mankind develop Sharingan, which is pretty cool, but still. And I know I wasn't gonna talk about genocide, but like, can we stop for a moment to recall all the scenes of Itachi killing the Uchiha? Like, why did Itachi even have to do all that? I mean, I know a lot of people say Itachi had to do it because Danzo made him, but my question is, if Itachi was as invincible as everyone says, why didn't he just kill Danzo? You think the Uchiha would have still performed the uprising? No, Sasuke could have taken back Shisui's eye, and even if Danzo spitefully destroyed the eye before you could use it, at the very least you wouldn't have to kill the woman and the children too, like you were Anakin Skywalker. Like, man, Itachi just wasn't thinking. Everyone over here acting like Itachi's good and Anakin's evil, but both of these protagonists killed innocent women, children, and then cried about it afterward, so to me, they're pretty much the same. Itachi just wasn't thinking about it. His whole point is being smart, and yet he didn't think this through. Killing Danzo wouldn't have caused a new world war. If anything, Danzo is out there trying to make one happen. Danzo is partially to blame for the Akatsuki even turning from peacekeepers into terrorists when he staged a fake massacre to pin on the Akatsuki. Yahiko is literally dead because of Danzo's Shimura. Itachi could have just killed Danzo, taken back Shisui's eye, or at the very least convinced Hiruzen not to murder everyone at once. Itachi's one blunder literally caused the entire show to happen. L. If anything, Danzo himself is one of the most cursed characters though. Like, his whole right arm is covered in eyeballs, and they move. One could say it's symbolic of the blood he has on his hands, and to show how genuinely crappy he was as a human being, but just stop and think about it. He has like 20 eyeballs, complete with eyelids grafted onto his arm. That manages to outpace Deidara's hand mouths. The Naruto series' whole thing about eyeballs is pretty freaky. I still lay awake at night thinking about Taneri's empty sockets. I know I love the Sharingan, but if I was born into the Naruto world, I'd be thankful not to have a dojutsu. The Hyuga literally have to put a curse mark on their heads to tell everyone that it's dibs, no takesy backsies. That's almost a good thing, except I remember that the Hyuga enslaved their cousins. Literally nobody is safe. If you're a second born, you get marked. And what's worse is that the mark put on them not only seals their eyes so nobody can steal them, relatively a good thing, but it also microwaves their brains like a baked potato if they disobey, relatively a bad thing. And this is all before I even start mentioning the scenes that you shouldn't ever pause, but that's another video entirely. But anyway, what do you think are some of the most cursed things in Naruto? Naruto is long and contains a lot of filler that I've forgotten about, so I know I missed some. But why don't you let me know in the comments below what you think? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when more videos like this drop, and be sure to check out these other videos as well. They're rad. Until next time, peace out.